Therefore, as we always commence, not from today, but from of old, our Father who art in heaven, that your name may be hallowed by men, that we may bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee, that we may offer you every adoration and adulation, because there is none like thee. You fight our battles for us. Every blessed day you demonstrate through your kindness and your everlasting mercy that you are our Lord, our God, and our Creator. This evening we offer these your children unto thee all over this very planet that you created. They are listening across the entire 24 time zones on this very planet where they inhabit. They are listening to your gospel this very evening, this gospel of redemption, a gospel of hope, a gospel of restoration, a gospel of renewal, this very gospel of freedom, this very gospel of emancipation as only you ordained. That this very gospel must be preached, that mankind may be set free from the eternal damnation of the creation of the British. My goodness me, I want to remain in the spirit, because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory unto thee. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have not only atoned for our sins, we have spilled, we have shed blood, they have shed our blood. We have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the 30th of August, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the workers of iniquity and of darkness, we remain very strong today to beckon upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for your grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your healing hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one singular purpose, and that purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in every honesty. Is there any way that we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before a congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, O Lord of hosts, to have mercy upon us. You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist? You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoko. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy, because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you.
Alive, and we are reaching wherever you are on this planet Earth, from east to west, from north to south, from the plan of the coastal regions of Biafra land. We are gathering in the name of the Most High God, He who sees the secret and the open, the mighty one in battle. We ask him to descend in his majestic power and his mighty valor, to enveloping the entire Biafra members, to continue to fight for us spiritually, physically, and otherwise, to continue to render impotent and powerless our enemies wherever they are gathering against us. That in the end, not only that their evil plot turn against them, but that they indeed be victims. In turn, we ask you, we employ the Most High God to remember your promises to our ancestors, and by extension, all of us, population of Biafrans, that you shall restore our lost inheritance to us, the land of Biafra. Now is the time to make a name for yourself. Give us victory and take the glory, that the rest of humanity will see your blessings upon our lives and continue to glorify your holy name. To this we say amen and amen and amen and amen. He said, man, for I am the deputy leader of indigenous people from Abatete. Abatete is saying, a demi leader is your member in Biafra. I am here standing in for our great leader, the kind of the man who has indeed vowed that Biafra shall be restored. And not only that is restored, it shall be in our lifetime. Since Mazinam the Cardinal decided not to speak for some days, and even up to a week and more than that, a lot of businesses in the zoo called Nigeria have gone aground. They have gone under. They are indeed collapsing. Every minute, every second, every hour. And some hungry desperados are coming up from every nooks and crannies of that zoo called Nigeria. And we oblige them. Be rest assured that Biafra Restoration Project is not for feeble-minded. Be rest assured that no individuals or groups can stop or suffocate this audacious restoration of Biafra. And it is our vow, our pledge on this platform, that the heart of this project shall never be allowed to see corruption, and that the gate of hell shall never prevail against it. IPOB remains a formidable force on the face of this planet Earth, dedicated for the ultimate restoration of the land of Biafra. Where are our enemies? Where are our detractors? Without IPOB, they are nowhere. Even those who are saying, give us some day, give us 7 days, give us 10 days, give us this, give us that, and we shall indeed do wonders. Restore Biafra. Where are they? This is to show you that if you don't have what it takes to do certain things, you cannot do it. You cannot give what you don't have. That is why it is very important at this particular point in time for you to understand the direction we are going and who is who. Our leader Mazen Namdekan shall speak very soon on a number of important issues. But you know what? We just decided to allow the platform to experience the presence of those deliverers, liberators, I should say. But as you can see, they are nowhere to be found. They said IPOB has sold out. They said IPOB is no longer effective. Some even said that now they can collected money. When we talk about the ills of the society, the camp that are affected so badly, we come up with all manner of concussion. When you say it the other way, another person will come up, and we are indeed telling you that we are used to all this. We are setting agenda for the zoo called Nigeria, and they don't have any choice than to follow. Biafra restoration project shall be accomplished in our lifetime, not after us. And we are not going to hand over this baton to our children or to generations of Biafrans to come. We have not also pretended that this journey is easy. It might seem convoluted, therefore. It might seem tortuous. It might seem complex. The tax, the responsibilities on our shoulders might indeed look monumental and near unassailable. But in the end, as long as we remain ideologically consistent, as long as we remain focused and implement as we go along different programs at different stages of this journey, we shall indeed emerge victorious. And there is nothing anybody can do about it. Just look at what has happened in the last few months, in the last even 2 months and even a month ago. You would have noticed that without IPOB and without Nnamdi Kanu, nobody is hopeful of the future. Everybody is hopelessly hopeless in a very hopeless environment called Nigeria. Some newspapers have gone under. They are out of business because they don't, for quite some time now, have the opportunity of publishing verbatim what Nnamdi Kanu said on pages of newspaper, and at the same time they have been denied the opportunity of fabricating lies. And therefore some desperados are sponsoring some charlatans to come out to say all manner of things. We have told them that we are used to such temptation. That temptation has come before we have defeated them. and therefore we are going to continue to march on them even as we speak. Be rest assured that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra and the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, shall be speaking to the people of Biafra very soon on a date we are here to announce to you. It shall be a surprise, but praise up for the all-important address that will come. It promises to be sporadic, it promises to be punchy and seismic from every ramifications. So prepare for it. As we do so, we continue to remind you that the future of all of us and our families and our children and our brothers and sisters and generations of Biafrans to come are in our hands. And what we make of it today will go a long way to determining the type of foundation, quality of it that we're going to provide. We are on different platforms, satellite platforms, FM relay stations across Biafra land. We are on technological call to listen. We are on different websites that we, of course, have control over. www.radiobiafra.co is our Radio Biafra website. www.ipob.org remains the IPOB worldwide website. rblworld.tv is also one of our websites through which you can listen to us. BiafraTelegraph.co, BiafraTimes.co, all of them are all our websites. You can get us on all those websites by simply using your internet enabled device. Going to that website, you will be listening to us. We are on our mobile app powered by Audio Now. Download our mobile app or mobile devices, especially those on Android. Those on Apple platform will soon be getting our app on those platforms, but for now the app is still being developed and we urge you to exercise patience. Go on the internet and search for Radio Biafra. Simple Radio app is also streaming our content. TuneIn is also streaming our content. We also urge you to use other blogs. Some bloggers are streaming our content on their platforms, and we oblige them. Number to call when airlines are opened and very imminently is +447405964146 +447405964146. We are on Skype. The Skype ID is Radio Biafra 6. Radio Biafra is one word, number 6 in front of it. What are we saying this evening? Very simple and direct to the point. It is to demonstrate to you that indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, remain the best of their kind on the part of this restoration effort that we are embarking upon. Therefore, you should be proud of whom you are. Without IPOB, those in Biafra land and those in the zoo called Nigeria are indeed done for. IPOB is a beacon of hope. IPOB remains the liberator of the oppressed. Our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has indeed laid a very solid foundation for us to follow. Everything happening around us now on the negative side, on the part of those who are going about propagating omen of lies, are propelled by jealousy, envy, and greed. You said that IPOB is nothing, that IPOB cannot go anywhere. Why don't you provide alternative? That is how to show you that these people are empty-headed and they don't have anything it takes. We must consolidate on the gains we have made so far. We must consolidate on the particular milestones that we have achieved. More importantly, we must not set our eyes off the ball. We must follow the footprints of our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, because there's no one like him as far as Biafra Restitution Project is concerned. And after our late People's General Jodimo Ojukwu, who is in his own league as well, Nnamdi Kanu has transcended boundaries and taken territories, spiritually and otherwise, with his wisdom, with his overthrow prowess, and simply because he is chosen and prepared by the Most High God. And all of us should be very grateful that his kind appeared in our lifetime. And we should be proud of whom we are. This will be a further presentation on this evening of the 23rd of March 2019. We are live, we are direct. Very special announcement. And this is concerning the United States family. Very important that our people understand what is going on here. There is a revised administration of United States and the continent of America. And this is concerning all American IPOB family faithful. It is very important that we announce this on air so that everybody understands what is going on and what should be done and expected of them. The administrative structure of United States of America has been revised to make it more clearer and more effective. And it is very important that everybody gets a copy of this important structural arrangement. Get it and look at it at any particular point in time you are embarking on any action or on any project or on any assignment in the United States of America. The principle of command and control reigns supreme. Without this principle, we will not be where we are today. With the exception of the areas we deliberately put in one or two things, every other structure remains same. The United States America rep, no, the North and South American rep, that is the continent of America rep, representative, is a member of DOS, Directorate of State, and in charge of American continent. The national coordinator, the national coordinators of the American countries are his executives, and they report to him, and he in turn reports to the Directorate of State. The American representative sets up families in the continent of America with respect to the countries. The United States National Coordinator is a member of the Directorate of State, and this is a very special exception in relation to other countries. The National Coordinator of United States of America is a member of the Directorate of State for very obvious reasons. And this is an exception when compared to other countries around the world. The United States National Coordinator oversees national activities, assignments and projects, and liaises with the state representatives who are in charge of states in carrying out these assignments. The United States National Coordinator has no dealing with the internal affairs or day-to-day running of any state in the United States. The United States National Coordinator has the state representatives as his or her executives. The state representatives report every issue about their state to the DOS through the USA National Coordinator, who in turn officially reports any issue during DOS meeting, Directorate of State meeting. I want to repeat this, very important. Every issue concerning the United States of America from different states and as piloted by the state reps, state representatives, are reported or dealt with through the office of the United States National Coordinator, who in turn brings these issues to the DOS. By implication, these state reps report to so these state reps report to the directorate through the United States National Coordinator. The state reps must oblige whenever the National Coordinator convenes or calls for national executive meetings in order to harmonize national issues such as emergencies, campaigns, strategies, and other projects. There shall be zonal coordinators in each state, and the zonal coordinators report to the state reps. In each state, headed by the state reps, there shall be zonal coordinators, who in turn shall be reporting to the state rep in charge of that state. Each state in the United States of America is independent and autonomous in their day-to-day activities, but subordinate to the United States National when it comes to issues of national nature, such as national projects, campaigns, visits, meetings with United States government officials, for example, 30th of May events, and so on. The United States National Coordinator demands compliance from each state reps on issues concerning these areas that we have mentioned. Each state in the United States of America sends her dues or monthly dues to Germany directly, and the state reps went down, notified, or sent evidence of payment to the National Coordinator. We have made available the copies of this all-important revised and substantive structure of United States family. And this has been endorsed by the leader of indigenous people of Biafrans on this day, the 23rd of March 2019. And that is that special announcement. And we urge you, eminent Biafrans, especially those in the United States of America, to indeed oblige and make available use of these documents. It has been circulated, and we continue to urge you to circulate it among yourselves. This is once again your platform, and we urge you, eminent Biafrans, to remain focused and resolute for times different. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back. This is still Radio Biafra presentation. It's very important that we, of course, look into certain issues that we must indeed take into account as we move on this journey to total restoration of our lost inheritance land of Biafra. For quite some time now, a number of detractors have been trying to see how they can make inroads in IPOB. Some of them cast aspersion on Nnamdi Kanu. Some of them cast aspersion on IPOB modus operandi. And some have even gone to the extent of allowing the devil to destroy them. They made public promises. Some say that they are going to restore Biafra in the next 7 days. Some say that IPOB has lost steam. Some say that they are ready to take on our enemies head on. And we have waited for them. Where are they? Nobody is talking. If IPOB does not do anything, nobody does anything in that zoo called Nigeria and even in Biafra land. Where are these backstabbers? We continue to ask. Where are they? Where are they? Our leader, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, deliberately decided to keep quiet for some time so that we'll be able to test the sincerity and the level, especially those who know that they are evil. When they want to attract attention, they begin to call God, they begin to castigate Nnamdi Kanu, they begin to castigate IPOB. Why is it that Prophet Nwoko, fake Prophet Nwoko, did not foresee his present sorry situation? Why is it that the Most High God did not show him that? Why is it that he's always seeing things about other people? That is what also happens to some people who call themselves seers and prophets and pastors. They see a lot of horrible things about other people, about the society, but they have failed on each occasion to see things about themselves. Don't get me wrong. There are still good men and women of God, but they are in the minority. And certainly, this fake prophet of Baal, Prophet Nwoko, is not one of them. You must be dealing with him at your own peril. Very important. There's one other issue that I want to talk about here, and that is concerning Cardinal Arinze. People say, don't say this, don't say that, and all that. I have to say it, because here comes a time when we need to begin to tell ourselves the truth. The reason why evil has multiplied, the reason why our people are in this sorry plight, horrible, hopeless situation, is because those who can speak, those who know that certain developments around us and in our midst are evil, but they look the other way. Okay, now go off. You will have them at the different levels of strata of our society. Some call themselves community leaders. Some are occupying positions as fathers, mothers. Some of them are politicians. Some of them are religious leaders. A number of them are the so-called members of the academia, professors and doctors. And they have considerable amount of influence that people are looking up to them. Why is it then that you don't have the courage to stand for things that are good and for the progress of humanity? Our society is the way it is today because people who are supposed to speak have decided to hypocritically look the other way. Some of them are taking money at the expense of a misery of their own people. Sizable number of them are politicians and the so-called men of God. There is a video being circulated around of Cardinal Arinze. I don't want to begin to look critically into that video, but it is reminding me and every keen observer. People are coming up and saying, listen to that video, listen to it, and you will see that he's actually for Biafra. I'm not saying that he's not a Biafran and he's not for Biafra. What we are saying is that there are critical moments, times in our lives, when a number of things are expected of certain individuals, especially when things are going wrong. We expect them to speak up. We expect them to stand by the truth. Unfortunately, sizable number of them have failed us. 80% of them are on the platform of the church. On each occasion, they tell us about God, about spiritualism, about this, about that. Cardinal Arinze, when I became politically aware, I knew him as a bishop. At some point, and very quickly, he was doing well. He became a cardinal. And shortly after, he was called by the Pope to Rome, given an appointment. One of the important positions that he occupied was the Secretariat for non-Christians and interreligious dialogue. He has occupied this position. I don't know whether he's still there now, but I know that he had ample opportunity to make a difference in the lives of people. Sometimes when you are running away from trouble, your silence can, to a large extent, exacerbate and increase the problem you are trying to solve. What is wrong in standing up and saying the truth? I will start from what has been going on in our backyard. Cardinal Arinze is from Eziowe. Eziowe is a neighboring town from Abatete. A lot of things have been happening. From our nature diocese to the whole of ecclesiastical provinces in the whole of the zoo called Nigeria, as far as the Catholic Church is concerned, as far as Christianity is concerned. A lot of our people have been killed, a lot of our people have been mowed down. For decades, we have been asking for peace with Hausa Fulanese. On each occasion, people will run from Kano, from Kafancha, from Kaduna, and come home because of religious violence. After that, they'll still go back. And we kept praying to God. We kept praying to God. But these people who think that they have monopoly of violence, does it mean that they are not human beings? Even if you don't want violence, why can't you stand up and speak the truth? Why can't you stand up and say, evil is evil? Condemn it first. We are not asking him to come and fight, stand at the forefront of Biafra. He rightly said that after Biafra war that he was appointed a bishop or a cardinal or something like that. With your experience, there are so many other people. It's not only him, but he is meant a pointer. With your experience, you experienced the war. You saw what happened. You saw all manner of atrocities. When you talk about Biafra, they will ask you, did you fight the war? Did you experience the war? And if you say that, oh, were you born during the war? That is also the same question that idiot in Answer Rock is asking anybody that comes across him. For the fact that I don't fight the war, I was not born during the war, does not stop me from recognizing the fact that the situation I am is in a very dire one, and that history and precedents of the past has said that unless I'm not a human being, I must think about the past. If I don't reconcile the past with the present, I cannot make progress for the future. So do not allow anybody, especially these people who were either participants in the war or who were of certain age during the war, to bamboozle you with all manner of unnecessary questions. If you talk about Biafra, they say, all those kind of things. So I engage Zimbabwe where log. We were told, and it has been confirmed, that what happened between 1960 and 1970, when we fought the war of survival, are still happening today. And from history books, if you didn't experience the war, if you compare what happened that time and what is happening now, there's nothing different. Therefore, the war has not ended. And it is very, very uncharitable. It's very, very ridiculous. It's very, very unacceptable for anybody to tell you to shut up because you didn't fight the war. All over the world, a war of injustice, where people were killed, where heinous crimes were committed, cannot be swept under the carpet unless justice is done. In the case of Biafra, there was no justice. I will remind the lives of Cardinal Arinze, of the war in Rwanda, the war in Yugoslavia, the Tokyo trials, the International Criminal Court for Yugoslavia, the war in Kosovo, all those things. Men and women of repute played important roles. They told the truth of what happened. That is why the society of those particular parts of the world are now healing. If you don't say the truth, but you know the truth and you are covering it, then you are evil yourself. All of us have been talking about, also Obasanjo has been mesmerizing us. He wrote a book, My Command, his own experience of the war, but he wrote it from the perspective of a Nigerian who actually was a war criminal and trying to cover every part that he played. But the lives of Cardinal Arinze, the lives of a number of our veterans were all participants or at least witnessed the war. Why can't you come together and write a book? Why can't you record this history? That posterity, we have something to be looking up to. You want us to remain like this so that when all of you are, when you've gone to your graves, we will be looking up like people who don't have history. Does Cardinal Arinze and his likes understand that their criminal silence is more than the genocide committed against the Biafrans themselves? Do they understand that whoever hid or hide the truth, especially when there is need for justice, especially at a time like this when the opposition is loudest, that they need to speak up? Do they know that those who are putting up very devil characteristics or characters or conducts of trying to be diplomatic where you're supposed to say the truth are more evil and more devilish than those we are condemning? What will prevent Cardinal Arinze from sitting down in his office and entertain people who are asking him for support, or at least educate the masses on what he knew about the war? He is occupying important political and religious position, I must say, in Vatican. Even the church, Catholic Church, is replete with a lot of atrocities. A lot of killings are going on in Biafra land. A lot of killings are going on in different parts of the zoo called Nigeria. The Vatican is a state within a state. And they have diplomatic wings. Are they trying to say that they don't have links with the zoo called Nigeria? Is Cardinal Arinze not in position to actually educate the Vatican on what happened during the war and the need for action to be taken? The Islamic fundamentalists in the zoo called Nigeria have been slaughtering Christians, slaughtering his own people as well. On this occasion, we pray to God to have mercy. It shall be well, it shall be well, and all that. Whoever is very close to Cardinal Arinze should tell him that he is owing generations of Biafrans and he's disappointing a lot of people. If he dies without telling the truth that he knows about the atrocities committed against our people, hellfire is his own. Unbelievable. Evil is evil. Cardinal Arinze, you owe us, the people of Biafra, people of the world of all ages, the information you have about the atrocity that was committed on Biafra and our people. And you owe it to the whole world and to indigenous civilian populations in the zoo called Nigeria that are being massacred. You need to stand up. You need to speak up. The church has a central role to play. Evil is evil. Your congregation, and by extension the congregation of churches in the zoo called Nigeria, are the ordinary people from whom you are milking their money away, or from whom you are making or taking money that sustains you. How wicked can our religious leaders be? Pastors, men and women of God as they call themselves, reverend fathers, deacons, bishops, they are all evil. They kept quiet and members of their congregation are being massacred every day. And I think it's about time we began to tell our people, if you are in any church, whether in Biafra land or, and your reverend father, your pastor is not talking to you about your suffering, your everyday toiling and moiling, the fact that you don't have good job, the fact that you don't have job at all, the fact that your security is at stake, the fact that corruption is everywhere, if they are not standing by you, challenge them, because evil is evil. Even Jesus Christ was a freedom fighter, fighting for the liberation of the ordinary people and those who are oppressed. And if you are claiming to be a Christian, why are you not behaving like Christ, who saw evil and stood against it? The pulpit has been politicized. They have taken money from politicians over and above the misery of their own congregation. A very good example of what has just happened. You call people out to vote in an election in the so-called Nigeria, despite the fact that we told you that they're going to rig this election. A number of people have been killed. None of you are publicly coming out to lead protests, at least, in righteous indignation, to stand for those who are defenseless members of your churches. You are all wicked. You pray for them this minute, the next minute you ask them to donate offering, tithe and offering and all that. Why can't we all stand up and say the truth? I don't want to go into all these things, but what Cardinal Arinze said is demoralizing. He hasn't said anything that is illegal, let me put it that way. But the way he was dodging the question that he is very much knowledgeable about, he knew that he can provide an answer. The way he was running away from standing in the gap and speaking up against evil is mind-boggling and cannot be swept under the carpet. Cardinal Arinze has failed a lot of people. You need to speak up. There are so many others, but yours is a pointer. Whoever is close to him should tell him that he owes generations a lot in telling the truth about what is going on and speaking up for them. You are telling the young man asking you question to that if you want referendum, you have to go and do it through politics. You have to elect people to go at the federal house and all that. You want me to go, you want the Pope to go and enter politics, something like that. I don't want to play that. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was revolving around this. But Cardinal Arinze he knows very well that the system is inimically against our people. How can you from Biafra land think that you can elect, even if the election is free and fair? How many senators and House of Rep members can you elect to go and vote on an important decision that concerns the future of your people at the federal level or in Ataso Rock or National Assembly of the Zoo called Nigeria? You know that it's not possible because the House of Fulanis are going to vote you down. You know that the structure is inimically imbalanced and against your own people, and that this structure has been responsible for the death of millions of people, and you are keeping quiet because you are living in Vatican, having good food. You are sitting on monumental fraud occasioned by injustice. The crime committed against the people, ordinary people, has a bearing on the silence, criminal silence of the church and other men of God who are supposed to stand up, and community leaders as well. So we must condemn evil when we see it. This is Radio Biafra presentation. We are moving forward. This is why IPOB is unbeatable. IPOB has been the only platform, the only group of people speaking up, even at all costs, and at the risk of losing their lives. Our leader, Mazin, has led by example. And we ask the Most High God to destroy any tongue, any hand, any leg that rises against Nandekan and against IPOB. May that hand, may that tongue, may that leg remain unfunctional forever. And may the evil men do not only follow them, may he indeed continue to torment and hunt and destroy them in the final analysis. This is really for the presentation. Number to call is +447405 96446 +447405 96446. We are on Skype. The Skype ID is Biafrans 6. Biafrans 1 word, number 6 in front of it. We urge you, Biafrans, remain focused, remain solid, because we are not going anywhere. We're back in a minute.
Should be one. There should be 96 states. Or Biafra should be separate, or Yoruba land should be separate. That's not the language. That's not the mandate Christ gave the bishops. They have to keep to the mandate Christ gave them. It is for people like you who get into politics and work hard for others.
But Nigerian politics is
There is no, you don't want to do it. If you want the Pope, no, not money to you. I think you have understood it. But you want the Pope to join the African Party.
No, not the Pope to just come out and say, I'm joining the Biafrans to fight the Nigerian. No,
that's what you want. But that is the same thing. Remember that when you were very young in 1967, 1970. That is why you are talking like this.
How old are you?
86. Are you listening? I was made Archbishop 2 days before that war began. Onitsha, where I was Archbishop, is the city most destroyed. So I know what I am saying. I have known Alex before that. Now, it is those who did not see the Nigeria Biafra war who are talking Black Biafra. They have no idea. They are poets. They do not know the political difficulties. Ojukwu was very intelligent and brilliant. Ojukwu was very capable. And that time, they had the whole Eastern Nigeria. He was the head of the army. He did his best. Unfortunately, Nigeria federal government had supported Britain, United States, Russia, all of them, the big powers. They had arms, so Biafra said we were being persecuted. But Biafra did not defend itself. But they did its best, but it was defeated. At the end of the Bible, Cain and Abel. Abel was the holy man. Cain was not holy. Cain said, let's go for the war. Abel was a good man. Did he return from the war? No. You see? The fact that you are innocent does not mean you will win in the battlefield. You may win or you may not win. That is in the political area. So even though people suffer, like Abel, and he was killed. We don't want to punish. We don't want to fight the war anymore. Fighting is a terrible. Now we want to referendum. We want to referendum. I will listen. So referendum, you join a political party and you speak about it, and you will win in the parliament in Abuja. Then they agree to referendum. It's not possible because then it will to you.
But I can say no now.
It's not possible.
Well, despite the discouragement from Cardinal Arinze, if you don't want to fight the war, why can't you also say the truth? This is really for the presentation. Number to call remains +447405 96446 +447405 96446. We are on Skype. The Skype ID is Biafra 6. Radio Biafra is one word, number 6 in front of it. we are opening our line, and of course we are urging you to call in and give us your opinion on issues of importance. I'm joined at this particular point in time by the head of our finance department, Mrs. Nene, all the way from Germany. Can you hear me?
Yes, my deputy, I can hear you. I hope I'm coming out clear.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much.
And just go ahead and don't mind whatever noise is coming from the background.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, great IPOB family members around the world, Biafrans, friends of Biafra, lovers of freedom, all those that have joined us in this our quest for freedom. I welcome all of you tonight to our live broadcast today, the 23rd of March 2019, and it's Saturday. This is a live broadcast. I also welcome our enemy. Like our deputy said, they are now quiet. They don't talk anymore. And we've been waiting for them, but they are not saying anything. Which goes again to confirm that IPOB will set the pace, and therefore. Tonight I have one or two announcements to make. But first, I want to introduce myself. My name is Naya Anya. I am from Ihechiowa in Umuahia province in Biafra land. By the special grace of Chukwu Abiyama, the creator of heaven and earth, I am the head of finance department of the National people of Biafra. Tonight, I'm going to point out a few things in regard to Biafra land and for those of us in diaspora. There have been one or two adjustments as far as in IPOB. But before I go on, I want to remind us once again, our leader, our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he traveled around the world in all continents. He wasn't traveling for fun. He traveled in all the continents, in Africa, Asia, Middle East, Australia, South America, North America, Europe, Canada, and in Biafra land. And his aim was to unite us. He preached to us with great awareness, telling us whom we are and what we have to do to restore Biafra. And he was doing it all the time, uniting us. He did not say you are from here or you are from there. As long as you are a Biafran, we all came out to listen to him. We asked questions. He will answer. The main purpose was to unite us and work as one. And he laid down structures. We have structures, our governance in this, our quest. And because of this, that's why we have come this far. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because some people will claim that they are with our leader, but they'll go against his structure, laid down by the very leader they say that they are with. If you know that you are with our leader, then obey his law, his rules. It's as simple as that. Follow the structure he laid down. All the rules and regulations that governs this our big family. you go with it. Because if you claim that you are with him and you do the opposite, then you are not with us. It's as simple as that. You can't go about saying you are with our leader and you go against the structure. You do your own thing different. You are not with us. It's as simple as that. No matter whom you are, no matter how long you've been in this struggle, you are not with us because you decided not to kill. And that is not acceptable. Also, nobody, no individual, no country, no group gives IPOB a condition. Nobody does it. We give you the condition. You don't give us condition on why you don't want to pay, because you don't like a particular coordinator or because you don't like the way he does things, you decide not to pay. Nobody gives us that condition here. If you think you are too big to fall in line with that, with the rules, like our deputy will say, then you chicken out and we keep marching. You don't want that division. Enough of it. It's a distraction. And I'm saying this by going now to Biafra land, especially in Abia, and maybe some other states. Some people do not want to fall in line. They say they are on their own, but they claim to be with our leader. You don't want to follow the structure. In Biafra land, we have the unit, the 4 units that make up a zone. After that, we have the local government coordinators. After that, we have the senatorial coordinator. Then your national coordinator. And then we have the overall Biafra land national coordinator. But some people will decide they don't want to follow the rules of the coordinators. They don't want to join with the senatorial. They want to be on their own. Now, I have this for you. If you make payments and you refuse to queue, you refuse to obey the instruction of your senatorial coordinator or your local government coordinator, and you go about collecting seats and paying, I will not announce your name on air. I, Nenaya, will not announce your name on air because you refuse to obey and follow the structure laid down by our leader. You know yourself in Abia. And maybe others are following suit. If you want your names to be called on air that you have paid, go and join the group. Go and obey what your senatorial coordinator said, or your local government, or your national said. But if you decide that you don't want to join and queue and obey others, decide to be insubordinate, then your name will not be called on air. And there is nothing you can do about it because you refuse to obey the rules that governs IPOB. And nobody can go against the structure laid down by our leader. I hope I've made myself clear. You know yourself. So go about collecting receipts and paying without joining the group, then your name will not be called on air. Now I go to diaspora. In diaspora, the rules that governs the way we payments, our payment mode remains the same. But there's slight changes in United Kingdom and North America. So for those of us in Africa, Asia, Middle East, Australia, South America, in Europe, with the exception of UK, which I'm going to announce, and Canada. From henceforth, if you make your payment, send it to Germany, please forward the copy of your payment slip to your national coordinator for record copies. I repeat, if you make your payment, your monthly donations or any payment, forward a copy to your national coordinator for record purposes. For example, here in Germany, in all the units, when you make your payment, forward your evidence of payment to your national coordinator as well. It's not the duty of the finance department to forward your evidence of payment to your national coordinator. That's got to stop from this moment. We must keep the record. And there is a reason for that. In IPOB leadership, our leader, we follow him, and when he says something, we do as he said. Now, for United Kingdom. United Kingdom, if you all listen during one of the broadcasts, our leader said that in the United Kingdom, it will be divided into different regions. Yes, there are now 9 regions. I discussed with the national coordinator in the United Kingdom, Dr. Okachi, and I informed him about what I'm going to say now. In the United Kingdom, we have 10 regions: Southeast, Southwest, and the Southeast is in London, Southwest, Bristol, Midlands, Nottingham. Northwest, we have which is in Newcastle. I'm sorry, Northeast is in Newcastle, Northwest is Manchester, North Central in Yorkshire. And each of these regions, they have a coordinator. In other words, they have somebody who oversees that area. For example, in Southeast, we have Chikwenwe Ozoka, as it's normally called. He's the one responsible for Southeast region. For Southwest, we have Onyeka Madoka. For Midland, we have Osita Egumba. Now for Northeast, we have Emeka Mokorobia. For Northwest, we have Solomon Edwe. For North Central, we have Anayo Ihanayo. We also have Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. But for now, the national coordinator did inform me that we don't have anybody that's trying. They are working on that. So as soon as that one is true, I will have the list. Now, why am I saying this? When you make your payment, I do not want the payment from the Southeast to be sent to me as one. No, because in the Southeast, we have units that are under Southeast. And under Southeast, we have Greater London, Forest Gate, Egenheim, Peckham, Lewisham, Kent, Mid Kent, Croydon, Surrey, Southampton. Now in the Southwest, we have Oxford, Swindon, Reading, Wiltshire, Bath, Bristol, Exeter, Plymouth. In Midlands, we have Birmingham, Luton, Hertfordshire, Northampton, Milton Keynes, Nottingham. Leicester, Coventry, Bishop Stafford, and Norwich. Now in Northeast, we have Hull, Middlesbrough, Newcastle, York, Durham, and Sunderland. In Northwest, we have Manchester, Liverpool, Cheshire, Lancaster, Cumbria. While in North Central, we have Leeds and Bradford, Huddersfield, Sheffield, and Derby. Now, if you know that you are in Southeast, all the units in Southeast must pay their monthly donation direct to Germany. I repeat, all the units under Southeast, they have to pay their money direct to Germany, and then you give a copy of your evidence of payment to the Southeast coordinator, the one responsible for the Southeast area. You send him a copy. And now the coordinator who oversees the Southeast will now copy the national coordinator of United Kingdom. I want to repeat myself again. If you are, whether you are in Southeast or Southwest or Midlands, no matter where you are, I want the monthly donation paid unit by unit by unit. And now you copy the coordinator responsible for your region, and he will also send a copy to your national coordinator. That is the only difference we have in the United Kingdom, because United Kingdom now we have 9 regions. Now finally, I'll go to United States. By this I mean North America, because already Africa, Asia, Middle East, Australia, South America, Europe, with the exception of United Kingdom and Canada, you pay and send evidence of payment to your national coordinator. Now we come to America. In North America, each state, like our deputy have already said, each state is independent and autonomous. That means each state must send their monthly donation direct to Germany, not to any other place, direct to Germany. And please endeavor to write the name of the state clearly. When you send it, you now send a copy. It's a must, M-U-S-T. You copy the evidence of payment and send it to the national coordinator of North America. Do not tell me that you have paid, that the finance department will now have to forward it to your national coordinator. No, it's not our assignment. You have to do it. You made the payment. You copy him and copy him, and he will keep the records. Because it's not the duty of the finance department to be giving your national coordinator your evidence, unless he's, maybe he wants to clarify certain things, then he can ask. But he should trust you that you are paid. If there is any aspect that you don't understand in this my announcement, feel free to contact the finance department. This announcement takes immediate effect. If you have paid for March already, let's say you are in United Kingdom and you have paid for March, copy your regional coordinator, and he will forward a copy to the national. And the same applies in the United States. If you have paid, the copy your national coordinator, and other parts of the world as well. This is very important announcement from IPOB Finance Department, and it's with immediate effect. And thank you for your cooperation as you continue to support this struggle. Continue to bless every one of us. My deputy, thank you very much. That's all what I have for tonight. I don't know, maybe you have a question for me, but that's all I have for tonight.
Right, thank you very much. There is no question I have at the moment, and I must commend you and urge you to remain focused and remain resolute. Thank you, and God bless your family. Thank you. This is a review for the presentation. Number to call is +447405 96146 +447405 96146. Can you hear me? Call on the phone. Good evening from here. Welcome to the program. He's gone. Next caller, can you hear me? They are not talking, and I don't know why. Good evening from here.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I remember Arinze Collins coming from Ipob, Biafrans son.
Right, Mazi, 1DK, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are with you, sir. Now, for what you are saying today about Cardinal Arinze, you know, sometimes these are our people, they get tired, feel say they are with the Jew, but at the end, the Jew disappoints them. Look at what is happening about that the Justice of the Federation of the Jew, Justice what or not. When they attack Ipob terrorists, the whole Chief Justice of the nation know that this is not legal, and we kept quiet because it's Ipob. He wanted to say this account and his money and his words at the time. They came now backfire for him, and nobody to back him up. Now Justice Water Omega is out. But watch Abaride, who supported us, who shot our leader, Mazam Namdekali. The time they touch Abaride hand, all of us stood up and chat about it. The fear, don't allow them to touch Abaride. So, some of the pastors are with us, some are not with us. Like as I am now, when I went to my church, now my pastor always called me Biafran man. The whole congregation knew me because I stopped going to church the time they played the Mazam Namdekali. In that 14th of September 2017, when they arrest my leader, I stopped entering church. So after they release him, as my brother, my leader calls me from Israel. The time I went to church, so I have had the voice of my leader. That's why I'm in church here today. Otherwise, you people will not see me. My pastor began to say, "I be really hardcore Biafra." I say, "Yes, I want you to know me as a really hardcore Biafra. I'm not against the religious, but the issue is that we that call ourselves our brothers are not serious in Christian society. When they kill people, you people are not serious. Like maintaining your own way to receive something from the governors that is doing evil. Even there's a topic that came to the church that day. They asked us, are we supposed to participate in the election? I said yes, we are supposed to participate. For we to channel ourselves where we are heading to. We are not to be in a place. Some people is channeling, only Muslim is working. When they kill my sister in Cardinal, it's my sister. What you did is to come to Port Harcourt and said, let Nigeria remains one. And my sister was beheaded in Cardinal because of he went to pour water or he paid the Muslim man to ship it from store. Don't pray for them, not to shoot you. So that is the
rest
end.
In peace. And it's very unfortunate that there are people who are supposed to speak up for her and they did not.
Yes, they keep quiet. The person that's slaughter from Biafra and the general of did not protest for one day. They have killed my people, my own member. What he said to remain one Nigeria. When they go slaughter, they use Biafra slaughter. Christmas of Biafra, Easter of Biafra, Easter day to Biafra. Nobody is talking. Now the thing is circulating. It's touching all of them one by one. My deputy, we are not shooting. Any decision you people take, I want to call it with you people. Some people are asking me that the car has taken bribe from Atiku to boycott the election. I say you people are so foolish. Now they said they
don't see
boycott of election.
So even at that, they don't see what happened again. They don't see what is happening now.
The people are so foolish. And my leader told them that if I didn't deny that boycott of election, they say, oh, the whole army. Now, if you see what happened in Iguacha, the date of election, if you see what happened at Iguacha for the date of election, before the date, there's no way for me to drive out on the roads of the Iguacha roads. All the whole road was blocked by Nigeria army. Yet they are telling us the army is fake. Why can't you arrest one fake army who disrupt the election? Nigeria did not arrest one fake army. After everything, they say the army is fake. But the way you look at the army, it's the same army that with Nigeria control. These people are tired. We are waiting for any movement you people told us to do.
Even if the army was fake,
yes,
where were the real army when they saw the fake army?
Okay, that is what we are asking them.
The fake army had failed there all over the place. And then after that, they are now telling you, I mean, the zoo called Nigeria is a zoo. And the people, they are animals because they don't think like human beings. Of course, at the end of the day, IPOB is vindicated. That is why we are so comfortable, so relaxed. Because what else can you talk about? You are overwhelmingly on top of your game. And we are moving forward. Thank you very much.
And with you people, no shaking. We are waiting any command by you people. If it takes us 1 year or 2, 3 years, I'm still having a patient. I will not be a tortoise who is inside toilet. The date to bring him out is telling the people that toilet is over to him. We have been living with the issue over 120 years. It's not this time around that people are making up space for week to go. Somebody will come and disrupt us. I don't want somebody to become a Jewish Israelite who make Moses did not see the promised land. I believe that my leader, Master Nantikali, will see the promised land. All hail Biafra.
He said, thank you very much. All hail Biafra. I'm joined by Mazi Oyibe. Can you hear me? Good evening from here. Welcome to the program.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Mazi Chineso. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead, please.
Once again, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, I say good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and to some of you, good night wherever you are. We appreciate you, Mazi Chineso, for what you are doing on behalf of the indigenous people of Biafra globally. Our profound gratitude to our supreme leader, Mazen Nandi Okukano, the Prince of Afari Diku, heir to the throne of the Diku Kingdom. And I must tell God, Chiku Kikadiama, that he is faithful, and everything he has said about us must come to pass. I give him all the glory, I give him all the honor. I want to use this privilege to call on Biafrans to actually begin to read the handwriting on the wall. A lot of people simply don't know how Biafra is going to come. But tonight I want to assure you, Biafrans, wherever you are, that there is no two ways about it. It is not a matter to discuss. There is no negotiation about it. Everything happening today before our very eyes are just a clear message and indication from Chupo Kikadiama himself to make us understand that Nigerian time is winding up. With responding to the issue of Cardinal Arinze, the most miserable people, I must tell you, on this planet Earth as we speak today, are Christians. With due respect, I must say I am a Christian, but to a certain extent, because with what we are seeing, something is wrong somewhere. God said that the end will not come until the day of falling is first of all revealed before us. And that is everything you see. No wonder in the whole of the Bible, 103 times, God said, woe, woe to men, woe to nation, woe to men of God, woe to lawyer. 103 times that word was used. And sometimes you begin to wonder, why is it cursing them? Why is it insulting them? Why is it placing curse on them? Evidence abound all around Nigeria. Between 2017 to this very moment, over 900 churches have been burned down in Nigeria. Most of them in the northern part of the zoo called Nigeria. Between January 2017 to this very moment, over 15,000 Christians have been slaughtered inside the zoo called Nigeria. And every one of us has gotten used to it. Pope never spoke about it. Cardinal Koche never spoke about it. Adeboye did not talk about it. Kumuye did not talk about it. Otukoya did not talk about it. Oyedepo did not talk about it. Show Ministry did not talk about it. Salvation Ministry did not talk about it. Sambotu Sakaka did not talk about it. Sakrafi and Sakrafi, no one of us talked about it. And then something is wrong somewhere. British government that gave us Jesus Christ and Bible did not talk about it.
They gave us Anglican Church, they did not talk about it. Pentecostal Church did not talk about it. Nobody is speaking up about it. And then all of a sudden, they are now coming to tell you that this one happened and that one did not happen. It is unacceptable. Our people must open their eyes and understand the handwriting on the wall. Cardinal Okoje or Arinze, whatever his name is called, for him to step forward and begin to spy on Biafra people, he should know he has ridiculed himself. They must understand this. Whatever they are doing, they are only showing the sincere, the remaining of sincere people on earth, how hopeless all of them are. It's unfortunate that now all the media are trying to tell you that 49 Christians, or rather Muslims, are in New Zealand. And then in the so-called Nigeria, if they don't tell you to go and fast, they will not tell you to go and pray to God, or they will not tell you, don't worry, great is your reward in heaven. And then if our great is our reward in heaven as Christians, then Muslims have 27 virgins in heaven. Why can't then shut up and let these 49 people who were killed take their 21 virgin or 27 virgin? But that thing, that game you have been playing, all of you, your time is up. All of you, your time is up. It is a pity, it is a shame, it is a disgrace for anybody who is coming to threaten Ipob, who is coming to threaten the Biafran people with war. You have run out of strategy. Your time are up. This is what they always do to us. If you read the line of what this Arinze of a boy said, you see, it's unacceptable. When we talk, they remind us about war. Sultan of Sokoto, who is an Islamic caliphate in Nigeria, when you talk, he said, if you go to court with the degree, you will bring war. If we talk about right to self-determination, if we talk about war, anything we do, they threaten us with war. Why? They constantly remind us that we are conquered people. They constantly remind us that we are infidel. They constantly remind us that we cannot do anything. They constantly remind us that our land is a theater of war, and as such we are under military occupation. They constantly humiliate us. They constantly control us economically and otherwise. And Cardinal Arinze did not see all these things. He's telling you Ipob is beating the drum of war. All hail Cardinal Arinze. All hail Pope. But what the drum you people are actually building, it will catch up with all of you. You think we do not know the arrangement that was made for you to be in Vatican City, but it's unfair. It is unfair to humanity. It is unfair to anybody who is listening to the sound of my voice. It is unfair because the issue of Biafra has actually made the world guilty of genocide, I must tell you. We talk about every genocide committed against us as a people, but nobody talks about the Biafra massacre, which is still ongoing. A calculated and deliberate attempt to wipe us away as a people. And some people sit back and say nothing is happening. You have a bank account, before your very eyes it will vanish. You think you have companies and industry, very soon you will not see any one of them. The people like I said, which are the Christians, is that the church is the first place to stop. No Barak will save anybody. No Boko Haram army will save any of you. Not even Yatian or Fulani headsmen. No British government Nigeria can save anybody when this thing starts. If you think this is the era you threaten us with war, based on what you did to our father, we will make you understand that we have gathered their strength. We are taking time to study what happened to them. And this generation will make sure that none of you will walk away freely. What is our crime? Did we choose to become black people? Did we choose to become Biafrans? Did we choose to come from where we come from? It is Almighty Creator Himself that have absolute right. Then how dare you, Homo sapiens, decide how we live our life? Now this is one truth the world may be covering. I had the privilege of speaking with an Islamic scholar in a very neutral discussion. He never knew who I was. We were discussing about how Muslims are killing Christians. Most especially here in Nigeria. He looked at me and said, brother. But I'm not his brother. Until Biafra is restored, I'm not a brother to any Yoruba. I'm not a brother to Barawu, Dambasa, Awusa Fulani. It can never be. Because we will not clean our armies before we go to the toilet. Let me not address further. I said, why are you people killing us? He said to me that because Israel is taking over Palestinian land and America is supporting Israel and they are killing Palestinians, that what they have decided to do, that we will be the one that will suffer for it in Africa. As far as Israel take over Palestinians, that they are going to take over Biafra land. If they kill 20 Palestinians, they are going to kill 20,000 Biafra people. I was shocked. Those of you who are close to Muslims will know this. And so invariably, you can now see why the reason why it is that If they come to Mohammed in America, they come to Biafra land and kill Biafra. If you speak against Quran, they come and kill Biafra. Because these people said, as far as Palestinians remain, that land, they use it for Israel, Jerusalem, we will never enjoy Biafra. And now we begin to draw the line. What then is the relationship between a Biafra man in West Africa with somebody in the Middle East in Jerusalem? And then there is more that the war is not telling us. One day they will tell us. But they must be rest assured. Ethnic cleansing for us is ongoing, but they will never achieve their end. Because we have gone to the stage where if you think you will wipe away Biafrans, you are lying. Some of us will survive. Some of us will remain. Cardinal Arinze does not know that Biafrans are scattered all over the world, living life below abject poverty, being treated like animals and hunted down, being rotting in jails, including in Vatican City. These so-called men of God are not seeing it. Our people are very stupid, thinking they are going to church, and they are contributing money for Yoruba people. You don't know that church is a business in Nigeria, most especially Africa. For your information, go back to 1979. And then start from 1980, you will see that is when Yoruba church started coming into our land. Of course, Idahosa started it, but what all your general overseer, all of them were apprenticed under Benson Idahosa. The company you see known as church in Nigeria by all this Yoruba, all of them were breeded by Idahosa. And when Idahosa knew the truth they will tell the world one day. He wanted to overthrow the Rome that brought him and introduce him into the business. He called himself Archbishop, and they told him no. He wanted to become the Pope of Pentecostal Church. He was stopped, but that is story for another day. And then when he died, all this is complement. They knew their assignment. The assignment is to break us down religiously, emasculate us, take away our will, because some of you will not revenge. Why do you think Boko Haram is killing Christians everywhere? I say in 2 years now, or about 3 years now, over 16,000 Christians have been murdered in Pope. Over 900 churches have been burnt down. Nobody is saying it, because they always say, don't worry, God gives, God take. Ash thou come from, ash thou shall return. When they slap you right here, give them the left one. And now you begin to discover why even the whole world is running for jihadists, terrorists, ISIS, and the rest of them. But when it comes to Biafra, all their wings will come up. Why? Because we are not ready to take the ultimate sacrifice. But here ye this day, O ye Biafra, wherever you are, if we do not allow us to go, have it at the back of your mind. A time will come. You will not need one bullet to kill us. We will kill ourselves for you, so you know what you are doing to yourself. What else do you people want? You control the resources in our land. You despise us. You humiliate us. You embarrass us. You mock law and you cripple us completely. And yet we remain peaceful. But you don't see the reason. Why do you think all these politicians are yapping? Why do you think all these men of God are yapping? Why this left one is telling you, nothing now they cannot collect money? Because he has been paid. Why do you think all these people come, they talk to Biafrans anyhow, they talk to Ipob and go? It is because hand never touch them. They can tell on this night, anywhere we will be. Hand will touch on her. Hand must touch all of you. And then that is when you will understand that we are not joking. Don't think we are not here to threaten anybody. We are here to promise you. It took over 200 years for these people to recondition us. And hopefully we are believing that in less than 10 years, all of you should be able to wake up. How long are they going to continue doing this thing? One man came out and confronted them with the truth. Today they call us terrorists. Today they are after his life. Today they are even confused. They don't know what to do because he said the truth. All of you cannot follow his example. All of you Biafrans cannot follow his suit. Look like you'll be closer to you. You are yapping, drinking wine. We shall see how it ends. Biafrans, don't let anybody deceive you. Many churches, in fact, in Rivers, the beginning of this this year, they went to a church in Omok. Kills people. The matter nobody talk about it. Over 80-something people died. Are we talking about the one they killed in Anambra? Are we talking about the ones that happened before our very eyes? Did you hear anybody talk about it? But to stop in church is the easiest one. Because when you are praying Orobo, Shendo, Orobo, and all of you die in that church, and we know who will come to church the next service. That thing you people are looking for, you will see it. And when you stand up, you are yapping, you are talking against the indigenous people of Biafra that are being humiliated, that are being oppressed. You will have your way only if our hands are not clean. Only if we are guilty. If our hands are clean. If it is our right to self-determination. If it is our right to civil disobedience. If what we are doing is that we might undo what the enemy, people who hate us, have done to us, believe me, you will see your Waterloo very soon. I call upon you that is not a Biafran, but you are Biafran. Do not come close to IPOB. Allow us to be. We call for referendum. Is that not fair enough? We call for referendum. We know that there are some people who are claimed to be Biafran, they are not Biafran, because these are the product of rape between 1967 and 1970. But yet we are fair enough. We say let's go for referendum. And all of you are afraid. You are afraid of referendum. More than any even one step, you are afraid of referendum. Why are you running away for referendum? And then when you want to deceive yourself, you say IPOB become political party. You think we don't know what you did to people? You think we don't know what you did to Abga? It is only a foolish man that will allow what kill his father to kill his father. If you people think we are here to come and sound politically correct, or come and sound Polish in English, and that we'll be speaking and yapping and eating our tongue, you people lie. We are here to say, give us freedom. The only language we understand is freedom. But very soon, the rest assured, we are going to add more grammar to our dictionary. Only language we speak now is give us our freedom. Allow us to go. This is too much. We've been living in here for how many years? Our fathers lived in here because British government wants all here. Most of them are dead, remaining a few section of them. And now the new generation are still dying. You think it's going to stop? Biafrans, you think it's going to stop? The humiliation on our people has just started. So the earlier you type in your mind, the earlier you prepare your mind for what is about to come, the better for all of you. The gentility of a tiger is not a sign of weakness. Because they've been killing us and we'll be keeping quiet, does not mean that is how it's going to end. Biafrans, anywhere you are, use your tongue to count your teeth. This is not the time you collect money, you speak against us, we keep you quiet. You are nobody. You are nobody. You can be a pedophile inside Vatican City. That is your business. You can be a ritualist as the monarch. That is your business. You can kill Biafrans and become general in the army. That is your business. You can do anything you want to do. You see, there are things we will not tell you, but you get ready. Stop interfering with IPOB affair. If you are sincere and you are reasonable enough, you are a human being, come out and say, no, this thing is enough. Let us go for referendum. Let us go for referendum. And to draw the curtain there, whether you like it or not, Nigeria must destroy. And anybody praying for unity of one Nigeria, may his children and all his generation be like one Nigeria. May what is going on in Nigeria affect them times 10, 100-fold. The Boko Haram visit them. The Fulani Herdsmen visit them. The Miatiala visit them. The terrorists from other African neighboring countries who are lazy, who think they are going to conquer us for Allah, may they visit their family, home and abroad. But if you do not say amen to this prayer and you fight against us, you will see war. So for those of us who want Biafra, we will see peace, we will see favor, because that is what Biafra represents. Don't let anybody deceive you. Biafrans, don't let anybody deceive you. This is not the time they pay politician money to castigate us. The government of Southeast and some lunatic were collected money, and they told you they prescribe us. But they told you that Fulani herdsmen are common criminals. And you think we are stupid or naive? And so when you see Cardinal Arinze talking, do you know how much Nigeria must have paid into Vatican City? And somebody said they don't need money. You think we don't know the business empire you people manage? You think we don't know what some of you do, including the bishop or whatever they call it of Canterbridge? You think we do not know the atrocity you people committed against our people? Before we wash our dirty linen, all of you get inside. If you be pastor, go and pastor your pastor. If you be politician, go and politician your politician. If you are a terrorist, Boko Haram, Allah, Fulani herdsmen, go and continue killing. For the day is coming, and that is the day of reckoning. That is why he said, those who are good, let them continue to be good. Those who are evil, let them continue to be evil. So the day of reckoning will come. Biafrans, don't let anybody deceive you. All we ask is referendum. British government are actually, EU now, they are working on their own referendum. They divide Africa like my causing confusion everywhere. But yet, in their own country, it's tribe by tribe, tribe by tribe. Almost all the length and breadth of Germany speak the same language. Almost every community in Germany speak the same language. And then how come in Africa, only Ipob where I come from, sir. In only the two called Nigeria, to have over 3,000 dialects. This is not as if maybe we are the same people. Different breed. But these people, these colonial terrorists who call themselves master, they know that the only way to bring us down, the only way to subdue us is to make sure they put all of us in the same place. Mixing oil and water together. We can only rumble, but we can never mix together. And then they sit back and play God. And they analyze the black man and say, black people are weak, black people are not serious, black people cannot develop their place. But they are the one who is copying all this below. But they shall boomerang. For before I stop, let me appreciate you, Koki Kabiama. Anina cha kimau, imana nesuku, nemaramaye. Ihunanya nenaki ubiomake uchu anyanya dajo ingwe kimbangwe odigonye tikage ebu afan omega enini na fena edemau. Before I drop this stone, you people begin to employ soldiers. Because very soon we need to guard us to go church. We will know how many military men that will guard each church. We will know how many military men that will guard each barrack. We will know how many military people that will guard market. That thing people are looking for, you will see it. I will stop down here, Marvin. Thank you for this privilege.
Thank you very much, Mazi Onyebemedumosa. God bless you and family and keep it on. This is Radio Biafra presentation. A very good one there from Mazi Onyebe, and we shall proceed. Can you hear me? Call on the phone. Clearly from here.
Good evening, sir. This is Father Tukumabo calling from Iguacha.
Right, going from here. Go ahead, please.
Biafra. Mazi, please, I want to go straight to the point. I want to make it known to our people. Chinua Achebe, Professor Chinua Achebe of blessed memory, lived his life as a very decent, righteous man. He was not a pastor. He was not a cardinal. He was not a reverend father. He was not a bishop. He was not an archbishop. Chinua Achebe lived a very decent life. I want our people to understand something. That somebody wears a robe or sidon or what do they call it, or put on suit or fly the private jet, does not make them righteous men. Chinua Achebe gave us a very wonderful gift before he passed on. And that book, every Biafran should go and look for that book. Our people at Attain should make that book available to every Biafran to read. There was a country. Yoruba went mad and demanded that he apologize to Awolowo's family. They went mad when they saw that book. They tried to ban that very book. Chinua Achebe gave us a gift. If Cardinal Arinze, or what do they call him, Bishop Tukuma, Bishop this and that, if our people can understand something, go and study the history and the secret of Christianity, the Vatican City, and Canterbury. Then our people will understand why Christians are the poorest, why Christians are dying, and nobody is coming to the rescue of Christians. Israel was slaughtered 6 million and more, even up until now that they have their nation. The Palestinians still coming from time to time to slaughter them. There was a time they were slaughtered in their Shabbat Eve. A family was attacked. Now, our people, we have been brainwashed to the point that we see these men, once they put on suits, they answer bishop, pastor, referendum, this and that. We see them like the people that should tell us what we need to hear. Then most of us, out of stupidity, we ignore and disregard somebody like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When you look at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you see the quality of late General Odunegu. You see Okukon, then you see Professor Chinua Achebe, all rolled into one. But most of our people do not want to see things in that direction because it is Nnamdi Kanu, because it is not a politician, because he is not a archbishop, because he is not a pastor, because he does not fly private jets. And some pastors are asking that he should come and make accounts. If I had my way today and I had $1 billion, I will give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu half $1 billion.
let the vagabonds who call themselves Iroanya and the rest of them go and hang themselves. These people are evil men. These people are working with the likes of these pastors, the politicians and chiefs. They have seen it that Marina Mekano IPOB is getting it perfectly right. They are so ashamed of themselves, crawling out of their hiding. These bloody cowards. Some are in the Vatican, some are here, talking nonsense. Our people were dying and are still dying till now. None of them is saying anything in condemnation. Last time Okojiwala went and said one nonsense that clash between Fulani herdsmen. A woman of that caliber, of that personality, is too blind to see that Fulanis are being armed by the federal government to kill innocent people. It has become a daily activity as we speak. There is no day and night that people are not killed. Then it leaves me wondering if the youths in the middle belt and the north are trees that you plan to cut down and is standing there to wait for you. I don't understand what is going on. Even as Israel is a sovereign state, they are still being attacked. UN will never report the killing of a Jew. But the moment Israel rises up to defend itself, you see UN in action. How much more Biafrans that are not yet free? Some people say they will be in the synagogue that Yahweh will come and give them Biafra inside. Some say they will be in the church. And I am looking at our people. I am looking at when you talk, they say you are evil, you are this, you are that. When we tell our people, prepare for what is to come, they say you are evil, you are fetish. Go to our people, they say you are evil, you are an idol, whatever. Now I ask them a simple question. Your Bible told you that Moses and Aaron were slaughtering bulls and rams in the temple. What kind of temple was that? I want you to go and ask themselves a simple question. I thought this stupid. Religion has rendered why Biafra has not come. It's because of the religion. And most of our people are against our leader. They like Biafra, but our leader is doing it because they want to please their pastors, their reverend fathers, their bishops, and all the nonsense they go to do every Sunday. Today, some of them are turning, I even Christianizing Judaism. It is not becoming business. There are some people that claim they are practicing Judaism will be speaking against our leader and IPOB. And we are going to come to that. Because if you claim you want to be part of what we're doing, you must join IPOB. Everybody, you don't write on the structures of IPOB to set up anything and say you are a Jewish leader or a Jewish leader. They are not using it to affect our struggle a great deal. We have had enough of religion. Biafra is my religion, is the religion of my leader, and I believe it's the religion of a lot of us. We must focus on Biafra and keep every religion, just every useless bishop or archbishop or arch nonsense aside. Let's go for what we want. I remember early 2000, you dare not speak against Attain, both on the bus and everywhere. His voice will come up after you. I feel we are too quiet for these bastards. Anybody can just come out and say any nonsense about our leader and get away with it. That time is coming to an end. You think our African right is making noise, you are about to find out. Some of you that think our African right is making noise, you are about to find out. You can call him any name if you want, but you are about to find out. It is because when they finish saying nonsense, they go to their homes and they sleep with their eyes closed. They wake up and they come out again alive to talk more. They are encouraged because they are still alive. So they can own or no. Very, very sure. This nonsense has to come to an end. If you do not want to support this man, our leader that is working very hard, sacrificing everything he has to ensure we are free, please don't speak against him again. If the important decisions, their imams and the rest of them cannot condemn Boko Haram and the killing of Fulani herdsmen. They know it is Fulani that are doing all these killings every year and day. They have never come out in the public to condemn their own people. And some idiots that call themselves, last time Archbishop Sukuma was talking nonsense.
one moment the muscle was with our leader slapping pictures. After Professor Python, that the next thing she was snapping with Obiano. These are the shots our people go to every Sunday. And after going to them, they have the call to come to IPB to talk nonsense. The times are come when you come with your nonsense Bible, Lord, or your nonsense preaching, will send you away from our mission. We are in freedom fighting. I have told them before that when Israel was going through the whole Holocaust, they did not remember synagogue. They did not remember anything. They were fighting to go home. They now have a home to build where they can go and pray.
Right, that line is off, and thank you very much. We have to continue. Next call on the phone. Good evening from here. Now we cannot continue with that. Next call on the phone. Can you hear me? Good evening from here. Welcome to the program. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Good evening,
good evening from here. Go ahead, please.
God bless you. I'm blessing them the Cardinal.
Bless you too.
I'm very much in appreciation because the way things are going already, we know that the people of Biafra have signed Biafra for us. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. All that is happening now is happening for our own good. I'm only urging all the Biafrans to sit up. They should relent. Because we already achieved to the promised land. All the things that is happening today is happening for our own good, because if all these people did not come up and keep themselves wrong, we will have known that they are evil. Right from the time we are small kids, when you see rent out for pastors or folks, we respect them, we regard them, we thought they are the people that will take us to heaven. We thought that they are righteous people. Now I think we have come to experience every one of them. These people should be happening in our land, and none of them to stand and talk about it. It shows that they are evil. I love him on the Cardinal, and I will always pray for him, because he is a righteous man. Even by the time he told us there will be no election, there will be no referendum, many people do not understand, because there is something at stake. Because there is an agreement he went to the government to sign, and that is why he gave that order. But if they do not give us date for referendum, there will be no election. Eventually, when they give us, eventually, they come up and sign that agreement. And all they can do is to ask them to do the election. Because if we have done the boycott of that election, if we insisted on it, they would have said that America doesn't listen to people, that they have violated what the agreement is with them. But as much as they want on to sign that agreement with them, we are asking them to go and do the election. Whoever wants to do it, but let the person go and do. Some people are not happy. They collected money from a TV, collected money from this and that. It doesn't concern anybody.
Don't mind the people. We are moving forward. At the appropriate time, we shall know who is who in the end.
Nobody, exactly. So, you see, a dead person went to where, I mean, a madman went to where they led the dead person. And everybody is crying, killing himself. You know what the madman told the dead person? He said, please, never mind all this noise you are making here. As you keep your face to one side, as you keep your eye one side, continue looking at that very side. Don't look at anybody. Continue going where we are going. So, IPOB, we are resolute. We are continuing to find our way. We are continuing to make sure that Biafra is resolved. We have mind what all these criminals are saying. Because we know the zoo must have paid them to come and destroy us. But I'm telling them that they can never destroy us. Now they can't happen. All I'm telling them is this. Whatever they want to do, anyhow they want to do it, Biafra must surely come. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and God bless you too, and keep it on. This is Radio Biafra presentation. Next, call on the phone. Can you hear me? Good evening from here. Welcome to the program. Call on the phone. Go ahead. Can you hear me?
Yes, my Lord, so I can hear you very well.
Right, good evening from here. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, my Lord. How are you feeling?
I'm fine. Thank you very much.
I want to thank you. I wouldn't like to mention my name, but I will mention my name maybe when I finish my statement.
When you get to where you are going to.
Yes, sir. I am from Abia State,
go ahead.
And then about precisely, I am also a principal officer in Abia State. I am an ardent Catholic. My father was a knight before he died about 11 years ago. So I know so many things and so many information pertaining to Catholic Church. So my deputy leader, which is before, I want to comment on the statement of the man who called himself Cardinal Arinze. He's more of a politician than a bishop. He's a true politician. This man has caused a lot of problems in Nigeria, mostly pertaining to the Catholic Church. This man has decided to put a lot of Anambra bishops everywhere, both in Kano, Cardinal, Imo State. And in fact, that man is a real politician. He's not a bishop. Because I can't see the reason why a man of his type, who calls himself a cardinal in a Catholic Church, should be more political. Why should he make such statement that Ipob should join political party? Do we do anything about party? We only
keep in mind that what we are talking about here is saying the truth. He knew about the war, he saw the war, and he's occupying a very important position. And the killings have been going on. The killings that started since he left, in fact, since when he was still very young, he saw the killings. After he has left, several years after, the killings are still going on. And he's still not saying something about it. So we are talking about the moral imperative that the people who are in positions of authority, like that of Cardinal Arinze, should have. And they are failing a lot of people in the process.
Yes, my deputy. Exactly. We have to talk more about the killings of our brothers in the zoo. Instead of talking about the killings, it's becoming more political. And I watched the interview. That man is a silly man, and he has gotten what he wants, because the reaction from our people have showed him that we are very, very formidable. So, my deputy, I thank you very much. I want to thank my state and Biafran coordinator, we are very formidable here, and the other principal officers. My name remains Jude Soprichi Cyprian. I'm my principal officer in Abia State. Thank you, my deputy leader. May God bless you.
Thank you very much, and God bless. This is Sunday Biafra petition. I'm joined by one of us, Mazi Obienu, North America rep. Can you hear me? Just a minute, please. Right, can you hear me now? Oh, it's still not okay. Just a minute. Not sure what's going on here. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can imagine it.
Yes, better.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
This is your brother. Yeah, this is your Bieno. I am from Oba. Oba is in Onitsha province. Mazi, I'm following this evening. I was listening to all you have said already. But before I can make any comment, I must thank God Almighty. for all Biafrans, wherever you are, starting from our leader to every participant, an honest one who is playing the possible role to make sure that this will come to fulfillment. You are doing nothing else but work of God. That's the only way I can elevate it. Therefore, I thank God for all of you who have answered this call, who are participating in one way or the other to make sure that this message goes across, and as such, that will, blessed be to the name of God Almighty. I thank Him for you, Mazman, for who is hosting this evening, and all the people who are connected this evening to this broadcast. Blessed be to His holy name. It's in Yeshua's name I have prayed. Yeah, Mazi, I'll start with the so-called prophet that is mourning and crying about money, you know. And when you look, I didn't see the video, but I have watched a video that this man posted sometimes. And when I look at it, I couldn't watch it for 2 minutes. It turned me upside down. Even though the few areas I was listening to, he was narrating how our leader picked him up from Lagos and gave him a home. And that's what you know, a lot of us say we are doing a fight, but they are here becoming liability to this struggle instead of working to making sure that what we are doing comes in. I mean, what will be the problem? If you don't know how to box, if it's biting, if it's scratching, that's how to pull down this monster, not coming under a liability. It doesn't work that way. No one can get their freedom by coming just to join and becomes a liability to the group. And that's the man is mourning and trying to. And you know, for whatever reason, due to the stupidity of her, because he is visually impaired and claims that God is telling him something. Now everybody is following him. You also see one Yoruba one that comes out on the Facebook now. He has a lot of viewers just because of the impairment, which does not do nothing because he's just a normal human being, but he cannot.
And then, my boy, in that condition, challenging somebody who is, by God's grace, far more, I don't know how to put it. In what way can he challenge the Kanu and IPOB? And I don't understand this.
I have not heard about this man before if he wasn't for this struggle. If he wasn't for this, all these people that are popping out here and there, who knows them? And this young man, Mazin Nandikano, was called for them. What is all this? Okay, what is all this? This guy fought and traveled far and wide, getting our people together, making us to understand the things that we know. He's just reminding us. And some of the things we don't know. Anyone that has the Spirit of God in him, once you hear that message, nothing can stop you no longer. Mazin Landikana has united all of you. That there are so many brothers that I have not come in contact with. Speak the same voice, because we hear ourselves just talking on the phone, talking to a brother that you have not seen. It brings joy. Brother feels the way you feel. Okay, so going back to the of his that I watched in the past, it's like when you get the point, I got tired because all he was crying for is that they didn't pay his apartment. They abandoned him. So abandon him. That's all he's crying for. So you can see how God is telling him, speaking to him. God is speaking to him, in reference to money, God told him that I think wasn't to get no money. Isn't that laughable? But sometimes I can't even imagine how we spend time talking about these entities here. Okay, but it's important because of the crowd that is full of, because I know sometimes a lot of us get lost and we have to re-educate them to understand what is going on. Okay, for me, I don't even have to watch this. I mean, not because of anything, but the year alone turns me off.
What made me actually to, look in that direction is that I watched the nonsense it was the other day. He said, people give him, those who want Biafra should give him 7 and he will do some. And I have looked at this whole thing with all the team, with all he destroys everyone and then claim that he is righteous and he saw, he had a revelation and all that. And I mean, you look at somebody who is talking. God mercifully kept you alive. You cannot challenge the people you are, castigating. You don't have the capability. You don't have the oratorial skills. Not you. And you are just, it's horrible.
My brother, the hunger is another sickness of its own. So, when you saw somebody hallucinating, the hunger can cause you to hallucinate. Okay? Hunger can, of course, so it's not telling that this guy can see a guy telling him that there's a money, article is passing money to Nandekano because of his state of mind.
But all these people who are seeing, having revelation, they have revelation about you and about the whole world, but they don't have about themselves. And you look into their account, they are more miserable than you.
Do you know that people go to native doctor to make money for them to be rich? Then you begin to think, this native doctor, when you come to his house, nothing to boast of. But he tells people, and people believe him. Okay?
That's human nature.
There are so many people with fetish mindset. It can be completely deceived, especially in the zoo where superstition is order of the day. Okay? People, you see somebody dying, they'll be calling God. You see somebody, we say, you see a lot of things where people can give a helping hand. Everybody will put their hands on top and be crying out and say, oh, Jesus. And somebody is dying right in front of them. You have seen multiple accidents where people are laid down bleeding and somebody is taking video instead of controlling the blood loss.
It's horrible. As I watched one where it was on top of somebody's leg, and somebody was saying that one is still breathing. He's and taking picture of that instead of
helping. That tells us what tells us we're gonna pull this off. It just takes for a while. So if somebody thinks that this is gonna happen overnight, it's not gonna happen because with the depth where we are, my brother, to raise us is very far. Can you imagine? Our people in United States, a lot of them are similar to people, but the understanding is zero, and they think they know. Okay, so let me just make few points on the Arinze comment, which I have already talked about because once I saw that video, I said, wow, this is disgusting. And I listened to him again and I listened again. I mean, unfortunately, they're the people that our leader talked about, that these are the people like Ganawa choose, they stumble and block, because you want that man in his level where our people see him, you will think that man with wherever he's placed, as far as in the religious setting, Catholicism setting, that that man will be able to speak the truth. And this is part of the problem we are facing. Most of the so-called leaders, when they go out, when they talk to them about our situation, they will say, don't worry about them, it's just the children. You know, all these children making noise. And that's exactly what this is. This is the same thing they also tell us here. They will ask us, your men and women are not talking. It means that if they are not talking, do you think that what you're saying will resonate and all that? Because we have seen they are not interested in what you're doing. You see, that's exactly the challenge. That's the horrendous connect. Yeah, there is the challenge that we face here, because you would think that that man can encourage the young man who was interviewing him, asking him, do you know when the war was fought? And for whatever, I don't know why they are so fixated on that 1967-70 war. And I do believe, honestly speaking, most of these people that actually fight war, did you know, were you there for the war? For instance, him. You know, so check it. Honestly speaking, I have run into... Oh yeah. Everyone didn't never know, because the only one son of then, and their mother want them to go to war. So they hide them in the cellar. Now, I've come into contact with a lot of vets here. Okay? Never a time have I seen a veteran here send me, did I fight war? But rather he will tell you that he's ready to fight again. Check it. If I'm not, I mean, from my own personal observation, yes, most of the people encourage you and say, keep on. They will encourage you. We have done our own in our day, but we are in support of that kind of thing. I mean, it gives exactly. This saying that you are good year. And this is the same problem we face today, because these people that even is from, you gotta be old, hand concept. You gotta be in your in that old age. But if it's in Rome, he forgot that the person that laid the foundation, wherein he gained that authority to be in Rome, died at 33. And it's unfortunate that this man was using our Lord Yeshua to give example, that he did not favor him on Good Friday. That tells you where he belongs. That, you know, that what God in heaven has designed, that this man was given. The Bible says that for God so loved the world that he only begotten son. And he gave him for a purpose, and when the time came He did exactly what I had sent him here to do. And this man was open his mouth to say that he did not favor our Shua on Good Friday. Then we're good. That tells you that these people who claim that clergy, that they know the Bible, they don't even understand the script. That is the essence of the whole thing. Okay? And I want to tell Cardinal Arinze, wherever he's listening, if he's listening, to some of these people, he's in enclave. So what does he know? Where he is. So somebody that knows him will refer him to 1 John 3:16. 1 John 3:16. Anyone listening, look at that. So you can take that message to Arinze, because apparently he does not understand what it is. So they call themselves priests anyway. Even when the Bible says that the last priest was our Lord Yeshua according to the Melchizedek. It goes on with what a lot of people come and cry about religion. How our people has been deceived so bad about this religion, because a lot of them don't study the scripture. And that's why they fall prey to the people who deceive them. A big old cross. Open cross with Jesus in the room. He has a big old cross. But does he understand what it is to carry cross? I'll tell you from his explanation, it's zero. He doesn't understand it.
Yes, you know the aspect I'm also looking at. It's just this sort of, just like we are here now, a lot of things are happening. And we are in the know of the truth, and the know of the lies in it. And then we keep quiet. Cardinal Arinze, from a host of others, including the war veterans, they fought, or they saw the war, they experienced it. No matter how horrendous or horrible it was then. But by the grace of the Most High God, they survived it. But the likes of Obasanjo, the likes of T.Y. Danjuma and go on, they concocted all manner of stories that went against our people and what actually was our own experience. And none of them are none of them is standing up to say the truth. Yeah, of course. Not all of them. There are the people who are actually doing the right thing are in the minority. Okay, just imagine, it's a wasteful, how would I put it? Cardinal Arinze is in Vatican. Vatican is just as well as a political
organization.
Yes. Not even it's a country within a country. And they have embassy or kind of diplomatic councils,
office, you will,
and they have ambassador, Nigeria, or representative, for instance, and man is keeping quiet in the face of monumental atrocities going on against our people. You saw people being killed and all the abominations carried out during the war. Okay, let me just say, you did not have opportunity to defend yourself at the time. But how about 5 decades
he
after
told you
the
that
war?
he said it's not his mandate from.
So
that's why I want to ask him to read 1 John 3:16, so he will see the mandate from our Lord Yeshua.
Even Jesus Christ was a freedom fighter as well, because he fought to defend the poor and to stand for the truth. Now, this common attitude of theirs, the attitude that this man is put is the reason why a lot of atrocities, a lot of people have lost lives in our place, and nobody is talking. Okay, one, when they see things, they look the other way. The same thing is applicable to reverends and bishops. Of course, there are good ones among them, but they are the minority.
The black African Americans here are enjoying freedom here. Is it not because of Martin Luther King Jr. and the rest of other people who are ministers of God who saw the need to stand evil? Okay, and you know, the irony of it is, the question is in the young man, do you want the Pope to come and fight the African war? I mean, what kind of nonsense? But the Pope, all the Pope can do is to speak, condemn evil, as much as the population of Roman Catholicism in Nigeria, and as much as this evil that is going on, this man is saying
in that zoo.
Okay, and this man is asking, this man is claiming that this is not the mandate. I'm wondering what his mandate is. His mandate is to sprinkle incense, wear long gowns. Is that his mandate? I'm speaking to these people every day. But you know what, Mazi? I am not discouraged. You know why I'm not discouraged? If you going back to the scriptures, you will see that the people of God has always do this type of mess. People of God will go through this, they have gone through this type of mess. And at this time of period in lives, you will see that even the prophets of that time were prophesying only for the king, like Ahab and stuff like that. They were prophesying for kings. Elijah was standing alone. So people were saying something that suits Jezebel because of the spirit. The spirit has engulfed, the bad spirit engulfed all of them, just like now. So one will be wondering, what is going on? What is going on in that contraption? All the people that are speaking in the so-called, all the people that are talking about God and everything, are the ones that are making it even worse for people to survive. Because even we're trying to get people to understand the simple thing, they are teaching people to be praying against themselves, praying against their freedoms. So that tells you where we are. And I have this message for Biafrans all over the world. The message I have for all of us this evening. The race is not to the swift strong, but unto them that endure to the end. Again, I'll repeat myself for Biafrans. The race is not given to the swift or the strong, but unto them that endures to the end. I want to encourage each and every one of us to remain truthful, remain obedient, remain diligent. For heaven, who called our leader, God who has started this, will bring it to conclusion. It's in Yeshua's name I pray. Thank you so very much for what you're doing for your people.
Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you and keep thanking you. The voice of Mazio Piano, all the way to America and North America rep as well. Can you hear me? Call on the phone. Good evening from here. Welcome to the program. Yes, sir. Go ahead, please. Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you very, very much. Good evening, fellow Biafrans, friends of Biafrans and the lovers of freedom. The blessing of people because they are continues to guide every one of us as we look for the peaceful restoration of our land. My name is Chico.
Yes, sir.
I'm calling from this evening. We will continue to glorify the name of Almighty Abraham, the God of the highest heaven. If we want to lay the foundation of this earth for mankind to live top of it, so for the evil activities of evil men who are supposed to speak out when the evil going around, they will keep quiet. We are saying that in our land, we will continue to confront evil. As those that are supposed to confront this evil, they do as if they are not seeing this evil, not follow them. We will continue to condemn the evil that's rolling around us every day, because that is how it's supposed to be. Marzi, when it comes to the decision, like what you and Marzi Obi just said, people, it is clear that they are worshiping the Almighty God. By duties, by their fruit, says the word of people, you can know them. Somebody who say that he's worshiping the Almighty God, somebody who called Christian, your fellow Christians are being massacred in African continent and you're keeping quiet. As you said, they have congregations all over this land. Here in Africa, there are so many that give them their daily contributions offering. They benefited a lot from the African Christianity for the cities that they know that what they brought to us is like, that is the reason why they are keeping quiet as they was being massacred by these people who have called them Muslim Islamic jihadis, and they are keeping quiet. But one thing we need to do is that good government is helping us. We need to help assist ourselves once more because His mighty hand all over us is the reason why they have a nation. Is the reason why the Almighty God continues to strengthen what we are doing today. That is why He resurrected man in our midst. And every man rounding him up to that some people will say, you can't shoot these people, they do nothing to you. So they were honorable ones. Genuine, sincere, innocent people all over the world, in our land. If you know that you are a need to love justice, this is the right time for you to stand up for what is right. The Christians are being killed every day. Where is the truth? The question is, they did nothing. Of the usual children in Yoruba journalists that try to condemn the truth. When you say the truth, you say, no, don't go there. How do that they want to Islamize? But they are killing people every day. I asked him, why these people are killing nothing Christians in the north, in different corners of this country? He said, he don't know. But when somebody wants to say it, you say, no, how? Allege. These are men of evil, those who love supporting evil. Their portion remains evil. The reason why you see are sick and can never be healed is because of what they have done to innocent people. The innocent people that have been killed, that flows in this land, still the reason why this never ever succeeds. So that is the reason why that is saying that Nigeria is one. Let's come together very soon. We pray that our country will be you are deceiving yourself. When God created human, He didn't give us power to kill your fellow. Life is precious in the eyes of the merciful God that created heaven and earth. So who are you as a human? You work with them, you tell yourself that it is good for you to slaughter human being because it's not the same worship in you. That can never happen in Biafran land. You have been killing our people because they refuse to come back to your land. Any day you continue to our people here once more, make sure that we burn all of you once more. You 2007 and they see. So here in any province, they run away, think that they remove themselves. And we continue to inform them, to tell them that any day you try to kill any of us here once more, make sure that we destroy you and your cow that value more than human. The blessing of people will continue to social of you as you do this wonderful work very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Incidentally, this is this program. My apologies. We are not going to take further calls. We thank the Most High God for having made it possible for us to have daily reverence together. Indeed, it is time to go. We continue to implore Him to continue to revive us, and more importantly, may He give us every enablement to Biafra. From me, I just sincere German 4 at this particular point in time. Thank you very much. Good night and God bless.